Hey everyone. My name is the theme park evangelist. While I am waiting on everybody to join the live stream, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about my upcoming spring vlogs. My hair is a mess tonight. My word. I didn't even notice that until I turned on the camera. It's like, yeesh. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start with discussing my upcoming spring vlogs. And then we'll go ahead and hopefully by that point, I'll have enough people watching to start talking about snowmageddon. And I'm hoping I spelled that correctly. Anyway, so um, first and foremost, I should note that the winter vlogs have been, for the most part, going pretty well. Obviously, I'm going to lose some subscribers. I'm going to gain some. This has been probably my best topics I've ever done all winter. And I've been very happy about the fact that I've had Danny and Daniel watching their own YouTube series and giving me feedback privately on, any mistakes might have made. And actually, the only mistake they said I made, and this was more of an LOL kind of thing, then like how dare you, which they wouldn't do that unless I really did something wrong. And they would be a lot nicer about it than that. That was me talking more than anything. Anyway, they may mentioned to me that in my How I Met Daniel vlog, I accidentally said that Danny and Daniel were already dating at the time. And the truth is, they were still friends at the time, and I had no idea. So the more you know. And since this is a live stream, you're gonna have to deal with Katie and I's chit chat. Yes, Katie. Yes, the oven is off. That's probably my pizza cooling. I made a party pizza tonight. I had gotten them like last week, the week before that, BOGO at Publix. So yeah, needless to say, I've been really enjoying that. I've been really enjoying the life of a former hotel employee. Yes, it is giving me slight PTSD, but it is kind of still fun to have something to talk about. Like every single year, something crazy always happens in my life. And, obviously, as a YouTuber and a husband and an employee who works full time hours, I'm not going to really have the time to talk about that during the majority of the year. And I know some of you, if maybe more of you, may not understand the significance to me about my wintertime vlogs. But here's the thing, I really do love the wintertime vlogs because of the fact that it is my chance to slow down a little as much as I can, as much as life allows me to, and reflect on life in general, whether it's recent events, whether it's long term. So, you got the How I Met Danny and Daniel vlogs or YouTube series. And for me, that is a lifelong YouTube series I've really enjoyed talking about. Then you've got my Life of a Former Hotel Employee YouTube series, and that one was a recent event that took place in my life that I may not have had the time to talk about last year, but I've had time to talk about it over the winter. And, with my YouTube channel turning 10 years old this year, it has been really nice to have new things to talk about on my YouTube channel. And, I just really enjoy that. So, anyway, I do see I have one viewer, and if it were definitely a current subscriber, and depending on my relationship with whoever this person is, maybe they'll message me so I can see who it is. But anyway, always glad to have anybody be able to join in, and hopefully I'll get more even after the live stream is over. So, what I was actually talking about was how much I've been enjoying my wintertime vlogs. And, with March a little over a month away now, as hard to believe as it is, because it is already late January, it's time to start thinking about the fact that I do need to start working on letting everybody know, hey, I got springtime vlogs coming up. Well, come early March, and normally, no, I don't have anything major planned for my YouTube channel in March at all, other than maybe the odd trip to the Creation Museum or the Ark Encounter, which I could still get in for free due to me being married to a Photo FX employee, which means me and her get free access. And that's about it. But this time, if for those of you who are not aware, I am going to be traveling up to Columbus, Ohio. So the best way to put it is almost 2 years ago this summer, Katie went with her parents to Columbus, Ohio for a weekend. Now, I personally did not get to go. Why is that? Because I had to take some time off. Well, I took a couple of days off. Let me put it that way during the week to make sure that I got to spend time with her and her parents while they were here that particular summer, just spending time with us, just doing stuff around the local area. Now, I don't believe they mentioned to me anything about going up to Columbus right away. I don't know if it was something they had planned long term, or I don't remember if they planned at the last minute. I don't remember. All I know is I told Katie I could only take 2 days off, and that's it. And said I could change what my 2 days off were. I said I cannot afford to take anything more than that off. Back in the summer of 2024, when I was working for Chick-fil-A at my local airport, CVG, I had already decided there was no way that I was going to be able to take more time off. I was already working on saving up for this wedding. How could I take any more time off? My mom was kind of half joking around with me, like that I wasn't trying to save up for the wedding. And I admit I was very shocked when I was working at the hotel and they made it sound like I was going to get full time hours the entire time I was there, just to turn around and tell me 100% confidently that winter that, oh, we cut down your hours to like nothing during the winter time, but we're going to try to make things work. We're going to try to stick you in this department and this department and this department, and we're just going to hope for the best and try to give you as many hours as we can. And I'm like, and how is that supposed to help me? And I remember that particular winter, we had one not as bad of a snowstorm as we're about to get hit with this weekend, obviously, but bad enough that I really struggled getting my car home. And I believe I did not have my car. I believe I had given it to Katie, if I remember correctly. Or it was the same weekend or same winter, I should say, that my car had decided to crap out and I had to stick it at Hyundai via a tow truck. Thank God my father in law bought Katie and I AAA memberships 3 years ago, or I would have been screwed. That's how bad of a situation it was. I think Katie was saying in the background that's exactly what happened. Yep, and I had to borrow my dad's car, and the poor thing almost did not get home. It was bad. So yeah, I am very thankful to have AAA membership. I'm also super thankful that I get another chance to go to Columbus, and this time I'm making sure it's going to happen. So the trip to Columbus is going to be awesome because not only am I going to get to go with Katie, but I'm also going to need to go with Danny and Daniel. So we've never gone an overnight trip with them, like ever. And they can say the same exact thing. And they are like super excited. What are you going to do in Columbus? I used to live in the area. I'm really glad you asked. So, actually, done rambling on about other things. So, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna drive up as far as Otherworld on that Friday. So March 12th. No, March 13th. Excuse me. March 13th. We're gonna drive up to Otherworld. We're gonna hang around that area, explore for my very first time, and Katie's, but not Danny and Daniel's. No, no, no. They've been there many times, and we're going to see the entire thing. Then we're going to drive about 40 to 50 miles, I'm sorry, miles, minutes extra north. And we're going to stay at my and Katie's first Drury and Suites. And I've heard nothing but good things. Like when I first heard about Drury, I was like, what the heck is that supposed to be? And well, obviously, it's like a Hilton, but better and more worth the money. And I'm actually really excited about it. I think it would be really nice. And then we're going to be going to Mosey, whatever, however you pronounce it, on the Saturday on the 14th. It's Mosai. Okay, thank you. So this is why I have Katie nearby, and we're gonna go there for the day. We're gonna come back at some point that day or that evening, and we're gonna have the free dinner that the hotel provides, and probably just spend time at the hotel. And I'll do more of filming around the hotel. Then in the morning, we'll have breakfast, check out, and I'm finally going to go to the Columbus Zoo. And this will be Katie's second time. So Katie will be able to show me around the zoo. I don't know if Danny and Daniel have been yet. I'm going to assume they have. But me, this will probably be well, obviously, it's my first time, but I'm probably the only one out of all of us that's going, the four of us, that has no friggin' clue whatsoever what I'm getting myself into.
Well, the last time I was at, the first time I ever went to the Columbus Zoo, they were doing so much construction that there was hardly anything to see. So this will be technically my first time.
That's how she's putting it anyway. So I guess we'll wait and see what happens. So yeah, you got that to look forward to. As far as like before May comes, I heard the Creation Museum has, and seen for myself, they have been building a brand new restaurant for quite some time now. The Creation Museum told me right before they, um, or before I quit, let me rephrase that, that they were really struggling. Just be careful, the Columbus Zoo, they will lock you. And if you don't get out before they close, I had to stay overnight twice. Oh, that's not good. Oh, Katie is really, really, really good about making sure that I leave on time. So she'll make sure of that. Um, yeah, before I left the Creation Museum, they had told me that their poor little Noah's Cafe was really struggling to handle the amount of people that they serve, especially during the summer months when they can get up to 3,000 people a day. I mean, it can get that high sometimes. And they said that like, this isn't working out anymore. And they made the decision to close down the employee parking lot. And not just that, they demolished it, like all of it. And it's made it very, 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 very difficult on all the employees, except for, of course, your office staff. But most of them already relocated to the old Toyota building off of I-275, so it doesn't really matter. But still, and they're putting in a brand new restaurant that's supposed to be state of the art, absolutely enormous, and it's supposed to take off a lot of pressure off of Noah's Cafe. And maybe at some point, Noah's Cafe may not even exist anymore. Maybe there will be two restaurants or three, whatever, because you got Palm Plaza on the ground floor. I don't really know the situation of the Creation Museum as I don't work there anymore. What? I hear you there. I mean, Katie's the one that works there, but I'm what they're planning on doing Noah's Cafe.
I don't know, but I've heard rumor that they might be turning it into a children's area.
Well, it's just a rumor, and that's about it. That's all she knows. And then over at the Ark Encounter, for those of you who are familiar with the Ark Encounter, they're in the process of finishing up the brand new Welcome Center. That is going to be the brand new bus drop off for the Ark Encounter. No more Answer Center. Like the Answer Center will still be there, but that will no longer be the bus drop off area. And if you were not also aware, in addition, this year is the Ark Encounter's 10-year anniversary, which is absolutely insane. I see I got a message here. Oh, it's just my cousin. Because I'm talking to him about snowmageddon. But yeah, I'm really excited about the Ark Encounter's 10-year anniversary. They've been in the process of building a new Jerusalem. Like I've been joking around forever that the Ark Encounter is literally the new Holy Land experience that used to be in Orlando before they destroyed it and turned it into, I'm gonna say, either more shopping or a brand new exit or something to that extent. I don't remember. It might have even become the new entrance to Epic Universe for all I know. I I didn't really pay attention to where Holy Land Experience in Orlando was when I was there last September, so I can't officially say. And then, of course, in May, I'm going to be returning to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. After much debate, we did decide that's going to be the plan. Katie, I guess, has to get some stuff back from her parents, and they're willing to meet us in Pigeon Forge. So we only have to drive 4 hours. I think they have to drive five, something like that. And we're going to do some stuff with them. So it'll be her parents' first time in Pigeon Forge with us. And obviously, we have to do some of our favorite things like Sawyer's, Goats on the Roof, possibly Titanic. We'll find out if we're going to do that for sure. I would love to do the one of the mountain coasters. I would love to YouTube that. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I mean, there's some stuff I definitely have not shown on YouTube down there. I would absolutely love to show. I seriously doubt we'll do the Jurassic boat adventure, but knowing my father-in-law, we'll see what happens. I really don't watch the Olympics anymore, to be honest. I know a lot of people who do. I know my parents watch the Olympics every 4 years. They have it literally on the entire week or so. It's on TV. I know that's them, but I'll probably um, just talk about it with people. But like, okay, that's cool. My wife and I went to Pigeon Forge with her family. A black bear walked by my father-in-law. Hey, if you didn't know, Katie and I started our mini honeymoon in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. We actually stayed at the Park Vista in Gatlinburg because I was a current Hilton employee at the time. That's why I'm doing the whole talk about my life as a former hotel employee. And one of the nights we were coming back from being out and about, ha 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 ha. I'm not going to go there. Um, we actually saw a black bear, like literally within 10 feet or less from our car. And I was like, oh my. I mean, Katie was the first one to see it. And she literally screamed. I jumped. I would jump more because of Katie screamed than the bear being nearby. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about snowmageddon. So I've got quite a bit of vlogs planned for you guys. That just gives you guys an idea. But I know a lot of you guys are like really excited about hearing about snowmageddon. So I have been living in Kentucky, northern Kentucky, at that for 7 years as of June. This is probably going to be my last year in Kentucky, and for a lot of reasons. When Katie and I got serious with each other, we knew there really was no reason for us to stay here in Kentucky because here's the thing, her life is back in North Carolina. I don't really have a reason to move to Florida. Move back to Florida. That's what I meant. I mean, I love Florida. I always will, but I'm been very happy making annual trips or biannual trips to North Carolina. And I think after snowmageddon, I'm gonna definitely agree that it's time to move back or move to North Carolina. Time for my third state. Time to live over by Mr. Beast. So yeah, they're calling for a foot of snow in northern Kentucky. I mean, the most I have ever seen so far in the 7 years I've been living here has been about 4 or 5 inches, and that's about it. And I can tell you guys that even though we do borrow snow plowing equipment from Ohio or Indiana, and we do have some decent snow plowing equipment ourselves, a lot of cars around here drive with even snow plows attached to their front ends. It seems like nobody around here knows how to drive in snow, and nobody likes the idea of starving to death in their homes, is another thing I've heard. And it's just one of those things, and I'm like, okay, well, my job just wants to make sure that they have enough staff to get by, but at the same time, working more than 9 days in a row when I'm a married man did not seem like a great idea, especially when I've already got 40 hours for the week. And I admit I have every respect for them because when I was working yesterday, that's all I heard about was all the snow coming in. And, I keep hearing all these different numbers. And that's another reason why I'm just kind of over this garbage and why I'm done living in the area. Do you have an emergency radio? 1 gallon of water per person per day, a shelf stable food source, and a source of heat power. Um, my parents have an emergency radio. We've got a crap ton of water now, all bottled. We have tons of shelf stable food. If our heat does go out, we have lots of coats, blankets, all that fun stuff. So, in that sense, yes, we are prepared. Um, my wife is going to go out and get flashlights tomorrow because, for whatever reason, we do not have that. I think I'm more worried about the ice than the snow because sometimes this area does get hit with quite a bit of ice. Like I've just noticed um one of the problems with this area is everybody gets all kinds of crazy ideas from all kinds of different sources. Like one of the websites I've been seeing that comes up with all kinds of garbage every single week is Newsweek. And I know my store does sell Newsweek magazines, but that doesn't mean that they're the most reliable. It's like I'm going to just fill you guys in on a little behind the scenes. When I do my posting about Disney and Universal, even from up here in Northern Kentucky, there are certain websites I do not rely on. I have told TJ, the friend who helped me start this YouTube channel up 10 years ago, that Mickey Travels or Mouse Travels, I should say, is not a reliable source. It's like the Babylon Bee of Greater Cincinnati, not reliable. It's supposed to be satire news. It's supposed to make people laugh, and that's it. You have to be so careful about where you get your information from. That's why I'm just one of those people when it comes to this snowfall that's coming, I would rather just wait and see how God is going to work things out before I just jump to any conclusions. I'm willing to be prepared. That's why Katie and I went and did our grocery shopping today. That's why we're all stocked up. ready to go. That's why we're trying to be prepared, because you just never know. But that doesn't mean that I officially 100% believe that we're going to get a foot of snow. I'm trying to prepare in the likely event it does happen, but that doesn't mean it's officially going to happen until I actually see a foot of snow on the ground come Sunday. I'm just going to prepare for it like it might happen. But I'm going to try not to panic, because at the end of the day, everything is in God's hands. I know a lot of people do not like me talking about God. My YouTube channel is called the Theme Park Evangelist for a reason. And the purpose of my YouTube channel is to preach the word of God, but I also love to talk about my passion for theme parks, my passion for Disney, and the whole passion of the whole reason why I've been doing this YouTube channel for 10 years was to entertain people and educate people on what's going on at Disney or Universal. I understand that there are people here, even in Kentucky, that are planning their trip down to Florida. Maybe not this weekend, because there's going to be flights that are going to be grounded. I mean, Amazon, for crying out loud, that never closes, is actually closed this weekend here in Greater Cincinnati. And that's pretty intense. But, there might be a weekend coming up in the near future where somebody here in the area might be wanting to fly or drive down to Florida and need to know what's going on. And yeah, we don't have Adam the Woo anymore. He's been dead a month now. And Justin, his best friend, he took the day off deliberately just to think about Adam. And it's hard, because you just never know when your last day is. And that's also why I do like to talk about my faith, because I want people to know that one day we're going to die, and we're either going to go to heaven or hell. And the only way to get to heaven is to admit to God that you're a sinner, believe that Jesus is the Son of God, and confess your sins to Jesus. That's it. There's no other way. You can't go through Oprah. You can't go through Ellen. You cannot go through Dr. Phil. You cannot inherit $1 million. Those are not going to get you into heaven. And the world will tell you how to survive this weekend. I can literally watch every reliable source of media on what to do this weekend. I can prepare as hard as I can, but at this point, I'm just willing to just accept that we just need to do a little bit more, and just pray and hope that the rest is in God's hands, and that's it. What else are you going to do? And no, I'm not going to get stuck at the Cincinnati Zoo, because my wife will make sure that we don't, because we're not that crazy. I've never been trapped in any business before, because I try really hard to make sure that when it's places closing, that I'm out of there. Well, I appreciate everybody who took the time to watch this live stream. I'm going to do one more vlog tonight, and I'm pre-recording this. It's easier than you think. For what, though? I'm going to pre-record one more vlog this tonight, and I'm going to be scheduling that to upload to YouTube next Wednesday, and that is my next how I met Danny and Daniel vlog, getting stuck in the zoo. Not when your wife is a zoo expert, it's not. But appreciate the tips, though. Anyway, always remember, you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. Have a great night. Peace out.